Have you ever stood over a trash can, package in hand, wondering, throw it out or risk it? The milk smells fine. The cheese looks perfectly good, but the label says, best before yesterday. And suddenly your brain goes into panic mode. Every year we throw away tons of perfectly edible food, simply because we've learned to blindly trust a single printed date. But here's the truth. That date isn't what you think it is. Today we're going to break down what food dates actually mean, where they came from, and why the system designed to protect us so often just ends up costing us money. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a label the same way again. For thousands of years, food had no dates at all. People relied on smell, taste, and appearance. If the milk turned sour, you knew immediately. If the bread went moldy, you could see it. Everything changed in the 20th century. Food began traveling across continents, sitting on supermarket shelves for weeks, and being sold to millions of strangers. Manufacturers needed to solve three problems at once: protect the consumer, protect themselves from lawsuits, and guarantee consistent quality. That's how expiry dates were born. And here's the key point. They were originally quality markers, not safety warnings. This is where the real confusion begins. There isn't just one type of date. There are several, and they mean completely different things. Best before, this is about quality, not safety. After this date, the product may lose some flavor or texture, but if stored properly, it's usually still safe to eat. Use by. This one is more serious. It's about safety. It's placed on highly perishable products, fresh meat, fish, certain dairy items. After this date, the risk of harmful bacteria genuinely increases. Sell by. This date isn't for you at all. It's addressed to the store, telling retailers how long to keep the item on the shelf. It's a logistics tool, not a safety signal. When we say food is expired, we're usually confusing all three concepts into one, and that's a fundamental mistake. Here's a fact that surprises most people. In the majority of countries around the world, manufacturers set their own expiry dates. There is no single international standard. No government body checks every package and says, this date is correct. Companies test their products under controlled conditions, temperature, packaging, storage, and choose a date that guarantees the product maintains its stated quality. But to protect themselves legally, they deliberately set conservative dates. They build in a safety buffer. This means the actual safe consumption window is usually longer than what's printed on the label. Let's get specific. Canned goods. Stored properly, they remain safe for years past the printed date. Quality may dip slightly, but there's no danger. Honey, one of the few foods that essentially never spoils. Archaeologists have found thousand-year-old honey that was still edible. Rice, pasta, dried grains. Quality decreases over time, but there's no health risk. Chocolate, cookies, chips. Past their best before date, taste and texture change, but the product doesn't become dangerous. Fresh meat, fish, unpasteurized dairy. This is where the use-by date genuinely matters. These products cannot be ignored. Here's something manufacturers rarely say out loud. Your own senses are often more reliable than a printed date. Smell is the most honest indicator. If the milk reeks, don't drink it, regardless of the date. If it smells fine, it probably is. Appearance, mold, color change, separation, these are clear signals. Texture, rancid butter, sliminess on meat, signs of spoilage. The date on the package is a guideline, not an on-off switch. Food doesn't become poisonous at midnight on the printed date. It's a gradual process, influenced by how you store the product, at what temperature, and whether the packaging has been opened. This isn't just a personal inconvenience, It's a global problem. According to the United Nations, roughly one-third of all food produced in the world ends up in the trash. A significant portion of these losses happen at the consumer level, meaning in our refrigerators and on our kitchen counters. We throw away food that is still perfectly edible. We waste money. We generate unnecessary waste. And all of this happens, in part, because we don't understand the difference between three types of printed dates. So what should you actually do? First, distinguish between best before and use by. One is about quality, the other is about safety. Second, trust your senses. For most products, they're more reliable than the date. Third, respect storage conditions. The right temperature and a sealed package extend shelf life far more than you'd think. Fourth, be strict with meat, fish, and unpasteurized products. It's not worth the risk. Fifth, canned goods, dried foods, and frozen products outlast their printed dates. Always check for smell and appearance before throwing them away. Expiry dates weren't created to override our common sense. They emerged as tools of quality and protection, and in that sense, they're genuinely useful. But following them blindly without understanding the context leads to massive waste, both personal and planetary. The next time you stand at the trash can with a product in hand, ask yourself one question. Is this a quality date or a safety date? Because the answer might completely change what you decide to do. If this video gave you something new to think about, hit like and share it with someone who throws everything away without a second thought. Subscribe for more videos that take ordinary things and reveal the surprising stories behind them.